an extra special scintillating Saturday, I mean to say. Basically, because of two reasons. It is Dr. Samuel Hahnemann's birthday. It is the World Homeopathic Day, 266th World Homeopathic Day. And we have a scintillating speaker, Dr. Ajit Kulkarni, who will take us through a voyage of the entire case presentation and his what we call Matri Medica. And then we have our senior editorial board member, Dr. C.H. Asrani, who will give us a few minutes talk on our National Journal of Homeopathy. For all the newcomers, it will be a what you call additional understanding of how we function, what is NJH, and things like that. So to start with, ode to Dr. Samuel Hahnemann on his 250th birthday anniversary. He is a scientist, a physician, the genius who gifted the world the most wonderful system of therapeutics, that is homeopathy. Today, homeopathy is followed by more than 200 million people in the world. 100 million Indians who choose homeopathy as their first choice of treatment for several ailments from acute to chronic, and around 30% of Europeans who use homeopathic medicine in their day-to-day life. From Spanish flu to swine flu, from cholera to COVID, research studies indicate that patients receiving homeopathy have experienced good and early relief with no side effects, excellent sense of well-being. So we do advise our patients choose homeopathy, choose health, even in a pandemic like this, at least for their other ailments. All over the world, 266 World Homeopathic Day celebrated today. And from all the NGH family, I wish you all a very happy homeopathic day. And to begin with, I would like to call upon one of our senior editorial board members, who needs no introduction, Dr. C.H. Asrani. Sir has 43 years plus of comprehensive primary care practice. He's a diploma at National Board Family Medicine, done his PhD in medical legal systems from Lucknow alumnus. He has conducted 500 training sessions, over 15 full-day sessions, 25 shows on All India Radio, and 3 TV appearances. In addition to clinical modules, he focuses on non-clinical topics inculcating managerial skills in doctors. We have been witness to all this in his recent Inches Academy presentations. He has 2 stints with World Bank as senior health insurance consultant in the training state health teams on medical audit and fraud management. Sir is one of the pioneers. The main crux today I would like to present to you how Sir, in spite of having a different background, is with us homeopaths and with NGH. He is one of the pioneers with Dr. Sada Sonawala when NGH took inception in 1992. He has designed 100 plus covers, mind you, for NGH till date. He has been a wonderful key speaker in all the SSMS till date. We just wait for his introductory session where he gives us a good glimpse of how a different clinical conditions, and then we go about with the homeopathic presentations and case presentations. You can say he's a rock of Gibraltar to all of us in the editorial board, giving us the most constructive advice and suggestions. His help is infallible both for NGH and individually for each one of us as editorial board member for our professional growth. Thank you, Dr. Asrani. I give the stage to you.
Thank you, Dr. Shahala. So participants, you need not worry. I will not take too much time and keep you away from Dr. Ajit Kulkarni's marvelous talk on Hahnemann Day. I still remember 1992. Sarlaben, myself and Vishpala, 3 people with 0 experience of running a journal. And we were planning how to come out with the journal, what all to do, how to make it different, how to stand out. Those of you who know Milan Clinic, we had meetings there. Then due to discussions, it came out that it should be a theme-based journal. It should have some amount of clinical medicine. And we started. And we actually, none of us, including Sarlaben, wherever she is, we could have imagined that in 29 years, we will be the largest homeopathic content in the world, both in the print and electronic media, and so many activities, so many publications, so much of knowledge. And you know, as it is said in Hindi, there is a saying, आप चलते चलो, कारवां अपने आप बन जाता है. That is actually very true for NJH. People who started with NJH 29 years ago, today most of them are stalwarts in their own thing. I'm not saying they have not excelled. They have excelled in what they do. But together it has been wonderful. It's a wonderful journey. And I hope that we take the next 25 years also as well under the guidance of the new generation of homeopaths, the new generation of editors that you see here. So wishing all the best to NJH and the homeopaths on this Animal Day. I hand over to Dr. Ajit Kulkarni to regale you with his knowledge and his experience. Thank you very much.
Good evening again all. Welcome Dr. Ajit Kulkarni sir. Dr. Ajit Kulkarni sir needs no introduction. He is a veteran homeopath, an academician, and a famed international teacher. He is a classical homeopathic physician practicing since the last 35 years. He has given up to around 100 international seminars till date and workshops in different parts of the world. He is a co-author of Abstract Homeopathic Mathematics, 5 regional repertories of AIDS, diabetes mellitus, thyroid, hypertension, and trauma. He's author of the most famous Body Language and Homeopathy, which I think all the editorial board have been gifted with this copy and a most useful book in a regular practice when we talk about homeopathy in a holistic way. He has also, to his credit, other books like Law of Similars in Medical Science, Homeopathic Posology, Cali Family and its Relations, Homeopathic Covidoscope, the recent one published by Amazon in the COVID period. It has been a useful guide with his research cases, more than 100 publications on various aspects of homeopathy. He has written many papers and books, and these have been translated in several languages. Sir has been awarded with excellence in homeopathy. He has been awarded the Homeo Ratna Life Achievement Award and Dr. B. Sahani's Memorial Award. He has been with National Journal of Homeopathy from many years and has been a regular contributor with his beautiful articles that we see in every issue of NJH, very elaborate, very giving us an insight into different aspects of the theories of homeopathy, making it more simplistic. I welcome you, Dr. Ajit Kulkarni, sir. You can please begin your talk.
At the outset, I thank NJH for calling me. It's our team, the team which helped me to climb up in homeopathy. Dr. Asrani sir has been instrumental in shaping me. His clinical insights gave me so much to understand the holism in medical science. Acumen, perfectionism, command over English language, perfect work and deliverance. This is Dr. Asrani sir. So I say my very modest bows before him. I also thank Dr. Vishwalaji. She is not only a colleague and a friend, but a great motivator for me. Right from 1995, I am regularly contributing in National Journal. National Journal of Homeopathy is the only journal in the world today which is constant. Something is consistent and constant, you see. Consistency pays off. It is the tenacity, it is the perseverance with the National Journal of Homeopathy. Editorials coming every month from Vishpala in a very special style of English. Manu Kothari, Lopa Mehta, writing so superbly. I think that NJS must have become a part of the homeopathic profession of all the students and practitioners, not only of India, but of the world. I begin with my lectures by praying God to be speedy recovery for Vishpalaji. On the special day of the Hanuman, I have something to offer you through the cases, because the concept today is to go from a case to a concept. If we are in concepts more, we lose track of the case. And a case, a patient teaches her a lot, teaches us a lot. So I begin with my sharing of the screen. First is the case of a atopic dermatitis, very severe case. It is a case of a chronic atopic dermatitis. You know very well, autoimmune disorder, very chronic, very difficult to cure, inveterate, obstinate. This case taught me a lot. So I'm very confident you will learn a lot like me. Female, 50 years of age. She consulted me during 2017. She has this atopic dermatitis diagnosed by the dermatologist since 2008. On and off steroid and immunosuppressants, both topical and internal. Now let us see the physicals. Dermatitis is worse by milk and alcohol. The patient comes from Europe, so alcohol is not uncommon amongst the women in Europe. There is dryness of the skin, eruptions become moist also. Crust formation, desquamation of the skin. Itching is worse by touch. It is worse by sun exposure. Waking after, especially in the morning, it is worse. Better by scratching. There is severe burning after itching. Hypertension on the hypotensives. Fibroid of uterus. Headache, worse, cloudy weather. She desires coffee and she is warm-blooded. These are the physicals. Let us see the past history. Pyelonephritis at her age of 6 years, tonsillectomy. And then she had Bell's palsy left side, totally cured. So this is the history. Tonsillectomy, loss of an organ with septic tonsillitis. She has polynephritis, pyelonephritis. It's suggestive of suppuration as the theme as far as two organs are concerned. And we have one paralysis of the face. Mostly this past history is contributing towards the tubercular miasm. There is a family history of father tuberculosis, hypertension, and cancer uterus, paternal grandmother. So it is tubercular and syphilitic. So we have to understand that there were tubercular expressions during childhood. Later on, not. Later on, atopic dermatitis. Now let us have the family dynamics. Family is consisting of a younger sister and the parents. Then after marriage, she has two daughters. Now is at 27 and 20 years. Let us see the childhood. There were clashes between parents and she used to feel low self-esteem, loss of confidence. You know, in Europe, usually every child has his own room. And she used to feel very isolated in her room. Father was alcoholic, mother was controlling, dictatorial, and she was dry. The important data is she is dry, mother is dry. She was hurt neither by mother nor by father. She says that I deprive of the hugging. In Europe, hugging is a way of showing the affection. We in Indians don't have it so much. Carrying on this lonely feeling since childhood. This is consistent. After marriage, there is cross with mother-in-law. Mother-in-law has a strong delusion that the patient, that is the daughter-in-law, has robbed her son from her. You see this strong notion, the belief system in mother-in-law. Many mother-in-laws do have such a strong belief system. After marriage, my son will be totally off his wife. So she is only after grabbing her son and she wants the patient and her husband to separate. So it doesn't only remain at the level that you are grabbing. She is now trying intentionally, deliberately to separate them. This is mother-in-law. So what is the atmosphere you are able to see? Mother-in-law, mother, father. The patient cannot cope up with mother-in-law's energy. So it is an energy dispute, no? सत्ता का सामना है दोनों में. But mother-in-law is more strong, energetic. She escapes from the constant conflict and often stays at her mother's place. The patient prefers to go at mother's place provided there are conflicts, because for her to tolerate mother-in-law's energy is very difficult. You see how the energy patterns of the human beings interact. This is a very interesting process, the phenomenon. Once you understand how to go with the interpersonal relationships, one of the best ways in the interview is to investigate the character of each family member, mother's characters, father's characters, close relatives. Then you have the makeups of everyone, the personality types. Then you understand our patient in a far better way. So let us see further now. Mother-in-law constantly abuses, curses, and humiliates the patient. See now the situation. So, mother-in-law is a problematic. The relations are toxic. Toxic relation is a big concept in psychology. As a homeopath, you must study them. In my article, Interpersonal Relationship and Homeopathy, I have thoroughly described the toxic relation and its correlation with homeopathic materia medica and repertory. I have new rubrics also. Then let us see now husband. He is of a bursting type. He always gives an impression as if something serious and irreparable has happened. This is his disposition. Something serious. And you know what happens when something is serious? There is no humor in life. So the lighter shift of the emotions doesn't occur. So this is a stressful situation. That the husband is serious man is a big issue, you see, because it produces daily hassle in the life. And the husband has a habit to blame others because he's censorious, he's fault finder. And this is very, very upsetting for the patient. See now the background and the husband's entry in the life. So there is a negative force from mother-in-law. There is a negative force from the husband. Parents' negative forces. Where is the positive force? Whether our patient has a capacity to generate the positivity within herself. If not illness, if not pathology, if not maladjustment. This is the training which we have to give to our patients when they are in the process of becoming pathological. And this is only the homeopathic contribution to the society. Why? Because we take into account the human being as a totality, as an entity who is evolving dynamically. Now let us see more aspects of her life, painful events in her life. The delivery first, she was at mother's place. She needed money for the delivery. She couldn't ask the money to mother because mother doesn't have money. Father snatched the money because of alcoholism. So she has no money. Hospital expenses. In Europe, hospital expenses are too much. So she asked the money to mother-in-law, and mother-in-law refused. Anyhow, she managed, and she had the delivery in the hospital. But she developed preeclampsia, hypertension, convulsions, unconsciousness. She was admitted. An emergency cesarean was performed. The baby was premature. He was kept in an incubator for 2 weeks, and the baby was constantly crying for months. So the baby was discharged, the patient was discharged at home at mother's place, and baby is constantly crying. Patient had deprivation of the sleep. She got depressed now. No help from anybody. Dry mother. Dry mother is a major issue in the life. Remember, life doesn't become soft and light then. And she developed terror of death of the baby. Very small baby, incubator. And she developed now as a mother, what will happen to my child? She lost appetite, became malnourished. She lost weight. Lactation was deficient. No milk. Anemia. And on the top of it, when the child is small, she had second pregnancy. And she didn't want it. And husband told, you have to go for the second delivery. See now, the whole situation over the years, right from the childhood to the present day of consultation. Once both children were sick, elder daughter had pneumonia, second baby bloody diarrhea. She asked for the help. She was at mother-in-law's place. Mother-in-law likes party. She likes to take alcohol with the people, so she is mostly not at home. And she had to manage. She had to admit both of them in the hospital. Husband is not a very active participation in the family affairs. So she was depressed. And during this period, her skin symptoms worsened. This was a major attack. Whole body was full with dermatitis, eruptions, weeping, lot of steroids, lot of antihistaminics. So this is the situation now. Now the situation now is coming from the elder daughter. She's grown up now. And she once told, because she was on the mobile always at night, and she used to go at night out of home, used to return in the early morning. And she observed that, you see, something is wrong with her. So she started asking the doctor, what is the problem? Why you are going at night? Why you are coming so late? What you do? Where you go? And she, during the fit of anger, elder daughter told that I am bisexual. And this was a big shock for the patient. She didn't expect that her daughter will be bisexual. Daughter quarrel. She refused to stop her relations and she left home. The patient felt very bad, humiliated, and the skin became bad. How the incidences, minor and major, attack the mind, attack the skin. Skin and emotions is a major relationship. In modern dermatology book, there is a chapter, emotions and skin. Read it. Previously, it was not there. Now, this correlation between stress, mental stress, and skin is now a very big study now. So let us now see further aspects. The daughter, after few months, came back for the delivery. So she is now pregnant. But the patient took care of her. The daughter had a normal delivery of a female baby. However, after 1 month, she left the home and now doesn't keep contact with the patient. See now, mother was being used. She was exploited of her services. So what you get in this history is who is with the patient. No one is with the patient. Neither parents, nor daughter, nor husband. एकला चलो रे, सब अकेला है सब. She wants to share. She wants affection. She wants close relation. And this is the first starvation, the need of a human being. And today, with modern civilized life, we are depriving it. Last year, she realized that her parents are very seriously ill. Old people, heart attack, Parkinson's, memory, Alzheimer's, and her skin deteriorated. When the stress will come, the skin will deteriorate. Intense burning, itching, she had to take the steroids. The parents are still sick and she's concerned about them and she wants to help them. The atopic dermatitis has caused disfigurement of the face. See now, the situation at the physical level of the face. There are scarring, marks of scarring, multiple, dark discoloration on the face, and she feels embarrassed to go in the society. So she stopped avoiding the social functions. These are the consequences now of the physical health. So we have now her confidence zero, feels constantly neglected and isolated, very low feeling, weeping when sad, when there are conflicts and there is a brooding. Dreams of daughter being kidnapped. Because actually, in reality, she has been kidnapped. Because where she is now? With her bisexual relations, even after she is a mother. She wants to continue the relations because this is her mental makeup. In spite of so much negativity surrounding her since childhood, she likes to care for the others. This is unique. She wants to care for the parents. She wants to help the alcoholic father. She is concerned about everyone, with daughter, with the parents. She doesn't go into negativity and hostility and antipathy. This is her character. And she has a high sense of responsibility. The way in which she helped the daughter when she came for the delivery, she told that without taking the care, it is impossible for me. I had to discharge the responsibility. This is the force behind her. Now about job, there is a problem in the work area. Because of the disfigurement of the face, she has a constant feeling that she is unwanted. During conversation, during the meeting, no one calls her. She has no role to play in the decision making in her job. And then there also she feels lonely. And even after doing her duties, if she is not appreciated, she feels offended and sad. Because this is her need in childhood. The appetite, the starvation for appreciation is her need. And this need is there because it is not being fulfilled. And currently, she has hypertension, takes hypotension. So this is psychosomatic expression. So we have two psychosomatic expressions now: hypertension and the skin. She also has hirsutism, which is also a big issue according to her, in addition to the disfigurement due to dermatitis. And there is a falling off of the fingernails. Sometimes they become very sore and painful. So these are the problems now. Okay. Yeah. So how many remedies she received from many homeopaths? The more the homeopaths for the patient giving a host of remedies, more it is a complex case. Remember. And as a homeopath, your job is to forget the world and engross yourself in the patient. Note everything down right from the childhood. Make a good totality, adequate and accurate, and give time for analysis. Think. Rubrics, think. So she received a host of remedies, almost 20, 30 remedies she received from many homeopaths. So I'm in the now same row of giving homeopathy. And she frankly told me, I don't expect more from you because I'm exhausted. I'm despair. I don't think you can help me. And my organizer is telling the patient, Dr. Ajit Kulkarni will help you. So the responsibility to be discharged now. Okay. So I will give you now my first analysis. This clip number 1 relates to the skin. When the sector totality is very evident, I make a clip number 1 of the sector. Then when acute crises are there, it is better for you to select a acute remedy. So you can prevent the patient from immunosuppressive agents. So this acute totality related to the skin gave me sulfur, which was already given, mesodymium already given, leadampal, arsenic, calcarea, graphitis, myrrh, Rostox, Cantharis, Thuja, all these remedies have been given. So should I search now which is the remedy not given? Clematis has not given out of the chart. I will begin with clematis because no one give. This thinking is wrong. This is a shortcut thinking. And I frankly told you on this day of Hanuman's day, there are no shortcuts. Don't use them. Shortcuts in practice don't make you a good homeopath. Homeopathy doesn't work with shortcuts. It works with long cuts. So this is clip number 1. And let us have clip number 2. I will give you. Before that, I will give you, because the skin itching called amel is not very well represented in synthesis, Kent, Bonning-Olson. It is better expressed in complete repertory. So combine the complete with other repertories. Then we have generalities, cold amel, so a lot of remedies now. Then you have skin itching, morning waking on, skin itching, waking on, generalities, waking aggravation. I may, in such cases, repertorization of all the levels, means general as well as particular. Because what is particular pertains to the whole. So in such cases, when I see that I have to select a very complex remedy, I make repertorization of many types. Many clipboards are before me. Then I unite them and see at them totally. It is very useful. It takes time, but very useful. Yeah. So clip number second now. Elements from multiplication. This is her life. For second, feeling isolation sensation means loneliness. Offended easily since childhood. Consistent disposition. Responsibility, taking responsibility too seriously, like anxiety of conscience. Then you have elements from discourse parents between. This is a new rubric, very good rubric. We need to expand it in future. I'm expanding it at present. Then we have her dispositional character being acquired as a consistent disposition, that is brooding. Because she has reached events to brood. And she is not a lady who has the capacity to go away from brooding. This is her weakness. This is the pathology. These are only representations of the inner state. They make up a totality. All these six elements at the level of the mind is one totality. These are only fragments. The remedy is in totality, not in the fragments. This is the idea. I have been giving this idea since many years because of the failures which I sustained. I think that when I fail to understand the totality, I have problems. When I understand the totality through fragments as the one indivisible, I have less problems. This is my thinking now. So I follow generalization concept of Bonnie-Wilson. I follow pathological general of Bogle. And if necessary, I also follow Kent. But I will give more value to Bonnie-Wilson and Bogle. Because in generalization, there is a big logic. Logic of inseparable unity of the human being. So I have now dreams, you will find, of kidnapping. Then mind dreams kidnapping children now. This is one more rubric. So we have a lot of remedies now. So I'm getting new insights now. By going through minutest details of the related rubrics and the remedies now, I have before me some new array of symptoms, new array of remedies. So I am not bound by the remedies given in the past because I have my independent thinking process based on reliable data. So I am happy as a homeopath that I will not fall in the same category of people who gave their remedies on their understanding. But their understanding now doesn't make a difference for me because in my understanding, there is something more. But it doesn't mean that earlier homeopaths were wrong. No, never. They did their duties very well. Patient didn't improve. It's another way of understanding. Same may happen to me also. But I got good data is now my strength. So I am happy. When a homeopath should be happy, when he has some insightful rubrics and the remedies, something logically connected in the components. So we have third clip board related to the physical generals. Milk aggravation, alcohol drink aggravation, coffee desire, and cloudy weather aggravation. China, calcula, sulfur, sepia, Naxma Bryonia. So this exercise now I will make a total one so that we have now 3 clipboards together. Sulfur, calcula, arsenic, sepia, natramine, mercury, phosphorus, lachesis, belladonna, staphysagra, graphitis, rustox, arum. These all remedies represent the patient's illness. Do they represent the essence of the case? This is the question. And this is the question to our participants of Engage. Yes. Whether the clipboards, whether the rubrics, almost you will find 9 plus 6, 15 plus 4, 19 rubrics I took. Sector, physical general, mental general. These 19 rubrics, do you think represent the illness of the patient? If yes, why? And if no, why? This is the question. So will you unmute for those who are raising their hands and answer my question? Yes. Yeah. Are you with me? Shahala, Shobha, Sushma?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes. So what about my question?
So can we take it in the end?
Okay, okay, we will take it in the end. But then we will lose track of the answer, you see, because I might have answered you.
Shahala, there is someone who has raised hand. Dr. Beena, we can unmute her.
Yes, 1 second. Yes. I've unmuted her.
Yes,
Tina?
Veena?
Hello.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dr. Beena. Yes, Dr. Beena.
Yeah. Good evening, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I feel though it is covering many rubrics, it is not covering the essence of the patient. Nothing feels. I mean, the whole life story and her expressions, everything doesn't feel connected in this chart.
Okay,
The
so
the person's essence, as you say, no, the feel of the person is not.
very good, very good. Veena has told a very important aspect. This is the weakness of the repertory. We are very true and honest to the data, but still that perception, that that human perception of the essence, repertory cannot give you. This is very individual. This is a kind of a perceptive filter which we have, and that works. You can call it as an intuition, you can call it as an insight, you can call it as a coming from the deep recesses of the mind of a homeopath, whatever it may be. There could be a language play. And there you have to understand that something which miss. And that is the learning of this case. Are you with me? That the case represents a deeper insight, a different plane of thinking, which is unfortunately not covered by the repertory. And this is the truth in some of the cases, although not in all cases. Some cases may not give you what repertories give you. Some cases, okay, each component can have an entry door to go ahead. Okay, very nice. So I now go ahead now.
Sir, one Dr. Sunita Agrawal is saying it is an orphan feeling and the need of love.
Okay, very nice, very nice, very nice.
Some other doctors are saying deprived of love since childhood, and it is a leg defloratum feel. That is what one doctor is saying.
Very good. I agree. Orphan feeling is the centrality of the case right from the beginning. She is engulfed by this idea of being orphan. And what is her weakness? When we analyze, this is the truth that she has orphan feeling. But the second truth is that she herself is incapable to remove this feeling and to wear the clothes of independence. You get my point? The point is that her own identity as an independent individual is not yet developed, even though she is now a grandmother. This is the pathology. In the evolution of the life, when the patient carries on some disposition right from the childhood, there must be a break, there must be healing. That didn't occur at all. So she's being carried away by the same, holding the same, holding deeply, and her way of, you see, attitude to the events in the life also you will find is not favorable to her thinking process because it takes everything as a negative force. So, any other insight you want to give? Yes.
Dr. Sandhya says low energy and loss of affection and love, but still caring towards those. And she says it's suppression of her or not so expressed. Is it reserved feeling? She's asking about it.
Correct. This has been very well described in psychology and especially in defense mechanisms. I have a full 1 day seminar on defense mechanisms next week for almost 7 to 8 hours. And when I started studying the subject of the defense mechanism, I found that this is a very important big tool for a homeopath. I published one article of my friend from Moscow in the National Journal of Homeopathy long back, if you remember. Read this article, very good article by my friend Dr. Alexander. So, what is important is with rubrics, you have many entry points, but something deeper is required. That is the learning. We have no rubric, no, being orphan. We have only one rubric for second, isolated feeling, provided there is a feeling of isolated. If you take a big rubric for second, there are a host of remedies. More remedies means not a good rubric. Okay.
Sir, there are some group of remedies which have come up by the participants, and they are saying natrum magnesium, magnesium group, lac defloratum, lac maternum, lac humanum,
Very good. Very good.
magphos.
Yes. Magnesium group, lac group, natrum group comes very close. I agree with you. I appreciate your entry into several remedies. But the remedy that is coming from all these groups, what the remedies you told, in unfortunately, so I want more from you. Yes.
Carcinosin DNA.
DNA, very good. Very good. Alsanocin was given to her, natrum was given to her, magnesium was given to her. She took magnesium for a long time. Magnesium did help her, then stopped helping. The same happened with many other remedies also. So remedies work, but not curatively. This is the problem. And this is a difficult problem. So at that level, I have to work. You see now, giving a remedy doesn't mean that you are solving a problem. You have to do something more. So what is that more? This is a difficult proposition in homeopathy. So we have now, you see, some other, you see, Lacan covers 3 rubrics and 4 marks. Lac equinum covers 3 rubrics and 4 marks. Then you have lauracerasis, you have lithium carb. You know, lithium is also for, like Baraita, separation is a big issue. As if I cannot separate. I am connected to my mother like an umbilical cord. This is also the theme with Baraita and magnesium and lithium also. So I started thinking about lithium cup. I opened the proving, I opened cases. I went into inter homeopathy, tried to understand many other journals, links, and I found that the data about skin is very, very deficient. So what to do now? And what is unique in this case? My question, very simple question. This is all right. You can do, I can do, many homeopaths can do. What is unique in this? Yeah. What is unique in this case? Our fun feeling is a reality in her case. Is it unique? I want to know from you what is her unique response to orphan feeling. Rather, in another word, I will ask you, what is the character which touches you as a human being? Which is exceptional? Which is unique? Can you do this? I frankly ask you, can you do this? Daughter, you see how she is selfish. She exploits the mother. What she does, what our patient does to mother, the patient does to the daughter. She helps, she is concerned, she looks at the well-being of everyone. Father is alcoholic. Father was torture some individual. Her whole life is tortured, but she wants to look after them. This is unique. So my remedy must cover this unique pattern. And I have to see everything unitedly so that the remedy covers everything. Remedy must cover alpha, no problem. Remedy also must cover the skin, no problem. Yeah. But the remedy must also cover the way of approach to everyone because of her needs. Need to be with the people. Okay. Now I will read the analysis.
Sir, there are some doctors, they are saying, so like a mother always loving unconditionally. In
So,
spite of all, she wants to take up the responsibilities. In spite of being deceived, she likes to help. She is getting carried away with all. Though deprived of love, she gives love and care.
this is very true of those mothers who follow this. Not
Yes,
all
accepted, yeah.
not all mothers follow this. I know many mothers who are very loving their son, but after marriage they started hating the son because उसके प्यार में एक अभी हिस्सा आ गया, शेयर आ गया दूसरे व्यक्ति का, तो बिगड़ गया काम. You have to understand that yes, motherhood is very important, and I will say that many mothers, rather most of the mothers, love their children unconditionally. I admit this one, but you cannot apply this statement universally to all mothers because humans are expecting animals. They expect something from the other always. Okay. The background of the marital disharmony and the consequent self depreciation. It is not only sadness. You get my point. You are sad about something. I'm talking about self depreciation. You start valuing yourself in a very devalued way. You start disrespecting yourself. degradation of yourself. This is the correlation. Mother-in-law and mother image transference is also a matter of concern. You understand this issue. My mother was like this, and unfortunately, mother-in-law is also like this. So this is image transference. She experienced the same image of the mother. The study of the interpersonal relationships of close people reveals that every relation acts as a trigger to have aggravation of the skin. And what is peculiar is her high sense of responsibility. This disposition puts the patient in the definitive role of helping the others. So now I want to give a remedy who has self-depreciation, who is extremely sensitive, offended easily, carrying on the feeling of orphan right from the beginning, the problems of life which she couldn't sustain. Everything came upon her in terms of the atopic dermatitis. So with all this, I went for, you see, first remedy, acute. I will differentiate, then I will go to the chronic. Measurium comes at sectal totality level very well, but at the core level, no. At the chronic mental state level, no. So do you want to treat the patient with measurium? No, because you will fall in the same category of giving this remedy helping for a few days only. Then you will be the same, and then you will be confused. A homeopath is one who gets confused after giving many remedies. You see now. So I do not want to get confused. What is measurium, you see? Measurium is nothing but a miserable state of the mind. And this is a remedy where a person has become dull and indifferent due to the chronic suffering, such as neuralgia and syphilitic dyscrasia. Measurium is a very deeper acting remedy. I have many cases of chronic constitutional measurium. Just last week, I gave a seminar for Ukraine people where I presented a very unique case of measurium. Then we have hypochondriasis and religiousness and financial melancholy characterize the measurium. So measurium has financial melancholy was not known to me. It is like Calcula fluoricum. It is like bryonia. It is like you will find I will become poor and then what will happen to me? Even platina. Platina is listed under the rubric beggar. He wants to beg for money. Such a beautiful lady who has a good communication and command, but becomes a beggar because of the feeling of being poor. Okay? Natram will always come up for differentiation. Disappointments in the life is a major issue and reject of her emotional structure. There is neither cut off relations nor avoidance of the responsibility under the umbrella of a hurt feeling. So when a Netram person has a disappointment, especially in love relationship, he doesn't want to engage because of the hurt feeling. So he avoids the responsibility. This is not the state here. The issue is she needs and she is desperately trying to maintain the relations thanks to her loyalty and duty bound disposition. This is the core of the case. And this is the reason why I went for lac equina. Because if you repertorize very, you see thoroughly, you will find that lac group comes very prominent in this case. There is lac leonum, there is lac caninum, which comes up. Many other lac defloratum also comes up. But I wanted that lac which represent the patient's characters. So let us have some characters of the horse in a very short way. The main character with the horse is to create a kind of relationship where he completely trusts the human, the owner. The main thing with the horse is to keep one's freedom while being of service to the others. Core of a horse is hardship, difficulties, problems, confrontations, and encounters. This is the theme with the horse. No? Human beings have used the horse for the wars, doing duty, loyalty, dignity, goodness. And what happened with this particular person is a threat, a blow to this faith, to the trust. So lac equinum was selected as a remedy of choice in view of its evolution of childhood and her dispositional characters. Milk activation and alcohol activation also called lac equinum in the proving with. So it was given first in 30 potency. Now it is very interesting. We started with 30 potency, not with 200, not with LM, just one dose every week. The report after 1 month, not after 6 months, although the patient belongs to Europe. If no symptoms develop, I told my organizer, write me immediately. After each dose, there was mild aggravation of the itching. But then there is significant amelioration. See now, 30 dose, how much the skin has become sensitive. Even 30 dose for the mental state, you see, is very much to express at the skin level. Hence, the doses of lac equinum were made more infrequent, that every 15 days one dose. Yet after each dose, mild aggravation was present. However, continuation of the same schedule dissipated the aggravation. Do you know this concept of dissipation of aggravation? When you go on repeating the same remedy, there is an initial aggravation, then the system becomes accustomed to the doses. Then no more such a grave aggravation occurs, provided the vitality of a patient is strong and the disease is not advancing pathology. Then you will find dissipation is possible. This is not a new concept in the pathology. Many authors in the past have written over dissipation, which occurs after homeopathic remedies. So patient is still under treatment. She is better both physically and mentally. Almost, I will say, 80 to 85%, the skin is much, much better. Recently, I gave her a single dose of 200, I think 1.5 months back, of lac equinum, and I have yet to get the results of this. So this is a very interesting case, very good learning for me, and the learning came because I studied the case as an independent homeopath and didn't pay attention to the remedies earlier given by many homeopaths. So if you want to ask any question to me about this case, I am open.
So there's a general question by one of the doctors. It may help the other students also. Where do we get the article for interpersonal relationship in homeopathy? She asked.
Yeah. This article has been published in my recent book, Homeopathy Through Harmony and Totality, in the first volume. But it was published long back, almost 10 years by Vishpala. But I revisited the article, rewrote it, and it is much deeper than the earlier one. So I can send this article at you see Shobha, and she can send this article to those participants who attended today. So this is a very good idea, so that they will get a gift on the day of Hanuman. So it's a very good article. You must read it, and you can benefit from this article. Yeah, I will send it today in the evening.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We'll write down the email ID from to, I mean, whosoever wants, you can contact my, write it down to me in the email. I will forward it to you.
Very nice.
Yes.
Very,
Thank you, sir.
There's a request from Dr. Rama to show the slide of lack experience once more, sir.
okay. Yes. Yeah. I have this slide. Yeah. Yeah.
Another question, sir. How do you differentiate from laccan and magnesium group? Laccan and magnesium.
I have already, when I gave you a lecture on Netrum personality, I have already answered this question. This paper of mine is also published in a National Journal of Homeopathy. Now, to give you this differentiation between, you see, what is the remedies you want for differentiation? Netramur and
Mag.
magnesium. Magnesium and natrum. Okay, okay. Now you see.
Sir, sorry, laccan and magnesium, she wanted the differentiation.
Magnesium. Okay, okay. What is important in these two remedies is the deprivation of the love. So the starvation of love is a very big issue with both of the remedies. In lac caninum, in addition to this orphan feeling, being deprived feeling, there is a feeling of inferiority complex that I don't deserve this. This feeling is not in magnesium. They are just sufferers of being orphan. They are very sensitive and they feel it inside. So the issue with magnesium, with orphan feeling, they feel that now I am alone in the world and I have to do my life in my own way because I may not get the help from the others. So the concept of the self-sufficiency, self-reliance is also with magnesium, although they are not independent because of the alkaline group in general. Most of the remedies from the alkalines are dependent. With laccan, the issue is that they become irritable. This irritability is very specific of laccan because you neglected me. So the person may become very angry, even violently angry. Like you see the dog which has been not given the food at home. And owner understands very well that now the situation is that this dog, if not given the food, which is deprived in the last 4 days, may attack the people at home. This is laccan. The second thing which is very important in laccan is in the laccan, the whole process goes in a autoimmune disorder way. With this irritability, with this deprived feeling, everything goes internalization. So the process of internalization tells upon the autoimmune disorders. This is the reason why laccan is one of the remedies for rheumatoid arthritis based on psychosocial angle. Third thing very important is the delicacy which is possessed by magnesium of feelings of structure like silica. This is not available in laccan. Lac can be outright, lac can be straightforward, lac can be abusive. This you will not see in magnesium because magnesiums are timid and magnesium has a big communication problem. This communication problem, which is the centrality of magnesium, is because they stop the conscious door of life and they go into semi-conscious door being open. So you get a lot of dreams, more than 120 dreams are encountered in magnesium. That subconscious root you do not get in laccan. They suffer in a most agitated and irritable way. Whereas in magnesium, everything goes so deep inside to develop a host of pathologies, including cancer, including musculoskeletal problems, including epilepsy, for example. So this is the major differentiation side between lac caninum and magnesium, especially carbonica, because both are chili. Yeah. Any other question?
There was one more doubt by the doctor. If a patient is not able to give the entire history, like how your patient has given it in, how do we proceed?
Yeah. You see now, this is a major issue in homeopathic clinical practice. I have been working on the same line. What should we do when we do not get the? This is the reason why I developed the concept of monogram. There is a big article which I wrote in NJH. Monogram means there are some characters of a remedy which I have given in Absolute Materia Medica in the bracket. For example, allergic, sthenic, chili, destructive, sclerotic. These are the words which are unique to the remedy and unique to the. So I make a combination of all these characters where I include the miasm, I include the thermostat, I include those characters which run through and through a remedy. Take for example silica. How can I describe silica? Fragile. So there is no rubric fragile, no? Or this interpretation of fragility in silica didn't come from proving. It came from conceptual understanding. So a very logical conceptual understanding make a word in the moment. Then there is one more concept which I develop in silica, fine, finder, and refiner. So in my silica, I have given these characters of these monogram words. Now, what is the use of them? You may ask me. When you have less data, less PQRS data, life is very smooth, then these are essential characters at the level of physiology, pathology, miasm, thermostat, behavior of the system, a very peculiar response given consistently by an individual. Those words who are ready to define an individuality, then they help a lot to come to the diagnosis of a remedy in the absence of the PQRS. This is the method. Like the defense mechanism tool, monogram is a greatest tool to practice homeopathy in a successful way. Read my article on monogram because these articles are very important to practice homeopathy in a better way. And most of my writings is, you see, what problems I face, I try to solve them in my own way. This is my writing. So if you go through them, if you analyze them, if you want to use them, you will find your success rate will definitely increase in homeopathy. So there are some solutions. Solutions come. It is better we focus upon solutions rather than inadequate data, inadequate data. But inadequate data can give you something to explore deeply upon. Like I told you, interpersonal relationship exploration is one of the best ways of a good clinical interview. You understand a lot from people's characters and patients' response to it. It is in the same way, monogram words are extremely useful. You can enter into pathology, for example. You can understand in a far better way how the mind and the body go together, parallel in the life of a person. Yeah. Next question.
Another question, a very important question in fact. Some doctors ask, what is monogram and where do we get your books and publications?
Yeah. You will get this if you open the National Journal of Homeopathy. In my book, monogram will be a part of the second volume of the Materia Medica. In the first volume, I have not given it. Second volume is going to be published within a span of 4 to 6 months. But if you want this article, an interpersonal relationship article, I am very eager to send you today. And Shobha, you send me your email ID. I will be back to you in the evening. And you must read these two articles and you must send me your comments, how it helped you. then I will be the happy author.
Yes. Sir, we are telling them that we have given them the our Telegram group's link in the chat box. It is given, so they all can write down their email IDs in the Telegram group. We can communicate over there and give all the details about your other books where they can get it from.
Yeah, yeah. Now currently you see body language book is out of print, and you can get the Xerox copy of this, which is at a less price, of course. Then my Harmony book is available at only you see 500 rupees, and Absolute Mathematics is available at only 600 rupees. A book, I think, one of the best books in Mathematica, because I'm associated with Absolute Mathematica since 1980. So I have spent 40 years of my life in one book. With Dr. Tarkas, I started working when I was in the second year of the college. This is the 6th advanced edition of the book. I have spent thousands and thousands of hours in reliable data, authentic data, clinical data, pathological data, mental data, relationship of remedies. And I'm very sure if you start using Absolute Mathematica, you will get many new insights into the remedies not given by the other homeopaths. So this book is available with me. You can give me your address. I will send to you, and I will give you the price of the books. Hardly you have to spend something like 2,000 or 2,200 rupees, not more than that. 200 rupees today, you might be getting daily practice of 10,000 and 15,000 rupees. So what is the value of 2,000? You see now. Yeah. Yes. Any other question?
Sir, let us go ahead with. You want to share one more case, right?
But if you have time, I have no problem. A very good case I am presenting to you. Okay. So I will share with you one more case. Very good.
But sir, you will have to hurry up a little bit.
I gave a big seminar on repertory for 2 days, almost more than 16 hours. So one of the cases where I presented, you will find this case at Moscow. So I will present for you. Okay. Yeah. Case number 2. Yeah. This is a case. Are you able to see the slide? Okay. Yeah. So this is a case of a sexual melancholy versus existential shame. Now, why I'm presenting this case to you, because in psychology, much work has been done about emotions. And there is a great scope to incorporate all these ideas, integrating these with with process with management. So how the recent knowledge in psychology could be used with a case, and we can become very rich as a homeopath. This is the idea. Okay. 37-year-old male, history of gonorrhea, excessive indulgence in masturbation, which led to sexual melancholy and self-contempt. Now there is a want of sexual desire, no erections at all at 37 years of age. Lack of confidence, indifference to everything, absent-minded, memory weakness. The goods purchased by him in the mall are often forgotten. They are in the mall. He is at home. Recently, he developed fear of death. See now how the symptoms are intensifying and how he is becoming more neurotic. Feels as if the life has lost its vigor. He has lost his vigor. Constant dwelling on sexual sins. This is sexual melancholy. I'm a worthless creature. Everyone is a creature, but everyone is a worthy creature. He thinks that he is worthless. and nothing thrills me at this stage of the life. What is the use of being existing? Why I'm existing? And there are thoughts of suicide. Why this is not coming? This one. What is wrong with? You see? Oh, something is wrong. You see? 1 second. Second. What happened? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Stop share. Okay. Now I will again start sharing. Yeah, share. Why it is occurring like this? Now it is clear now.
So this is clear, sir, now.
Okay. Okay. So in addition to this now symptoms, psychological, he has intolerant itching of the perineum. It took many remedies, antifungal, steroid, daily applying something, but it is not disappearing. Stools are soft, but he passes them with difficulty. He has to strain a lot. He has to sit in the closet for a very long time, and then he passes the soft stools like alumina. So I thought of alumina immediately. Immediately, a memory very good. Many remedies do visit me, so I become a good homeopath. This is the problem. When a remedy immediately comes to your mind, you want to give the remedy to the patient. This is wrong. Wait, study. Patient is giving you money, no hurry. You can call the patient after 2 days, after 4 days. If he is living in a, you see, long from you, send them the medicines after few days, no problem. Take the menu first, no problem. But give him the right. So we have now, you see, a lot of rubrics. Mind delusions worthless he is. Yes. Masturbation disposition to. Indifference to everything. Reproaching oneself. Delusion sins he has. Sexual desire wanting. Fear of death. Absent-minded. Suicidal disposition thoughts. Memory weakness of memory. So all symptoms he has been repertorized now. I will combine this with now you will find some other things. Pulsatilla aurum, anacardium thuja, agnus, helleborus, lachesis, mercury, natrum, staphysagra. Okay, then yes. Rectum itching perineum. New rubric mind sexual melancholy. This is a rubric which is given in complete repertory. Good rubric prepared by some good homeopath. It is a big rubric, and this rubric is a very important rubric in those cases where you will get sexual melancholy. Today, because of the pornography, because of the mobile and everything use of the digital technology, cases of sexual melancholy are increasing in the society. I just wrote on prostate in NGH where I have given my thoughts about all this. Okay, so you have now selection of the remedy, Agnus cast. Characteristics now, the most effective point of attack of Agnus is upon the organism in its sexual sphere. It lowers sexual vitality with corresponding mental depression and loss of nervous energy. It shows the distinctive increase in both sexes, but more pronounced in the male. Sexual melancholy, fear of death, sadness, and impression of a speedy death. It is not only fear of death in Agonus, as if I will pass away in a speedy way. Aconite is also thinking in the same way. I will die within, you see, minutes at the fixed time, you see. He repeats that he will soon die and there is no use doing anything. This is the melancholy state. He loses the go, he loses the vigor. The will is seen. Then absent-minded self-contempt from sexual abuse. Desires death, inability to fix the attention when reading, doubts if anything had existence. Forgetful of purchases, goes off and leaves them. See what is written in the Mater Medica. You are able to see different words only in the patient, indifference to everything. Now, I'm coming to you with the study and the correlation. Types of the shame. First, body shame. What is body shame? It is a very physical experience and expresses through a lot of gestures and postures. Body shame is a shortened signal of a deeper self-shame. Excessive puritanical religious training is the chief source. In Christianity, this body shame has been described even in Bible. When they want to express the mind state, it is described. In our Hindu culture also, a lot of shame has been described. So I have coined a new rubric, body shame. This rubric contains a post of. The purpose of today's presentation is not to give you the ideas about each remedy. Here, Buffo is there. When the Buffo Rana patient is given a lot of torturing by the others, that you are naked, you are shameless, then he starts feeling shamefulness. This is coming as a secondary, but he himself. But then what is the difference between Buffo Rana and Hyoscyamus? In Hyoscyamus, yes, I am shameless, I am naked. What do you want to say now? In order that the feeling of guilt doesn't touch him, he exhibits his genitals and is totally exhibitionist so that all people will say, yes, you are, so I am shameless. This is Hyoscyamus. Try to see the level of understanding of the shameless in each remedy. You know very well, let us take Kali Brome, for example. It has sexual melancholy. It has again masturbation tendency. It has also, again, you will find, due to Brome connection, much more deeper sense of guilt. You have lack humanum. The feeling is that why it is related to the body shame? Because lack humanum represents the human species. Lack humanum is like I am a human being and you should understand me as a human being. This is lack. Resembling Stapes agria state. In Stapes agria also the same thing. You understand me as a human being and respect me. Your disrespect means you are hurting me. And he has, very sensitive and wounded pride. But the theme of Stapes agria is different from lac humanum. In Stapes agria, he wants to be a hero. And he needs the heroship. Bipin Jain from ICR wrote a very good book on Stapes agria, which I wrote over this book in National Journal. He tried to understand the pride through the heroship. This theme is not available in lac humanum. He just wants to see that he is a human being and respected. He doesn't want to boast and see that he is a hero, because that heroship requires a lot of strength to project, which lack group in general do not possess, because they are engulfed by the idea that their esteem is extremely low and low. That makes a difference between the background and the projection. A homeopath is one who understands both these aspects together. He understands the infrastructure and the erected structure over it. Okay, then we will see now. Another way of understanding is sexual shame, neglect, obsession, and disgust. Neglect, giving no importance to the sexual impulses. Sexual obsession is the flip side of disownership. Do you understand this sentence? You do to rather than with another. Sexual shame is a major issue in the world which has been thoroughly discussed in psychology. So there are a host of remedies here about sexual abuse. Then comes the existential shame, which our patient has. It happens when the self abandons the self. It means I have no existence. I am worthless. Where is my existence? It is like loss of identity. It is like atrophy of the ego functioning going towards lysis. Who am I? Nobody knows. The core message is I'm worthless. Life is meaningless. I have nothing to do for. This is Aram group in general. This also covers lag group. This also covers lithium. Even you will find Barata carbonicum also possesses it. There is a very interesting remedy not studied well in homeopathy, that is vanilla. I treated a very interesting case of vanilla interstitial cystitis, recurrent attacks of cystitis with very severe backache. And the theme was sexuality, then seducing type of the behavior. Vanilla, is used in the ice cream as a flavor, no? And what is the theme? Seduction, attraction, sexual attraction. And this lady represented the same theme in the interview. And that was the entry point for vanilla. And vanilla removed the tendency of cystitis, and her backache was much better after vanilla. I represented this case in some of the seminars. Okay, so you have now one more rubric which I prepared: competence shame. Competence shame grows in the gap between what people can do and what they think they should do. Perfectionism delays competence shame. So the people are perfect. So the people are extremely obsessed with, you see, fanatically about cleanliness and perfectionism, because otherwise they may suffer from competence shame. So source says falling short of goals and ideas and comparing with the others. Competence shame has much to do with competition. My neighbor has a you see BMW and I have Swift. Then the problems come up. This is a big rubric, very important in clinical practice, and it contains a host of remedies. Competence is dealing with our capacities, our skills in life, how we perform. And I will tell you one thing which I learned in my life, that is, competence counts in life. Your skills and your capacities only are counted more in the life. You are recognized by all other people, by the society, how much you are capable to do. In homeopathy, how much you are capable to perform as a homeopath is counted more. Whether your practice is low or big or a lot of money is not counted at all. Let us take, for example, Apis mellifera here. Why Apis mellifera come up? Because business. The honeybee is constantly in business, 24 hours. I don't think they sleep without a movement of the wings. Why wings are being in movement? Because to keep the cool atmosphere. So they have the inbuilt air conditioning wings to keep their nest cold. They want to be busy. And they are very competitive because jealousy is next to pyosamas and gallic acid. So this rubric is a very deeper study of understanding. Okay, now we have a vicarious shame. You know vicarious menstruation, no? Now, this vicarious shame refers to the experience of shame on behalf of another person. For example, child is in the public removing the stand and standing on the platform as a naked one. And mother is ashamed of this. Wife is ashamed of husband's behavior. This is vicarious shame. A lot of remedies are here. Let us take, for example, Kalkira. Why Kalkira should be here? Because Kalkiriya has no capacity to stop the husband from such a behavior. Because she is dependent, she is parasitic. That bull, that influence, like platina, like Staphysagrida, that varatramalbum, like sulfur, lycopodium, of overbearing nature, Kalkiriya doesn't possess. She has to live with the behavior of the husband because she is a carrier on the bicycle. So the rubric comes up here and the remedy comes up here. So host of remedies do have their ramifications. They have their own way of expressions. And then we have to understand them totally now. So rubric is a deeper process of understanding. The rubric is a movie where there is a director, there is a story, there is an actor, there is an actress, there are events, and then you have the title. This is the rubric. So when you select a rubric, that rubric which touches everything, mental, physical, particulars, and reliable rubric based on logic, based on adequate data, based on accurate data. This is repertorization, which is never quantitative. Okay. Now let us have a social smell, the last one. Group social smell. Group social shaming is usually begun by outsiders and is often called prejudice or bias. You belong to this caste, so always you are given the social blame. You belong to this class, you belong to this class. Although everyone knows that only one class exists, that is human. Then you have individual smell. Individual shame may come from others, or it may originate internally as a result of making comparisons. Okay, so we have the remedies connected to this. A lot of remedies. You have DNA here, you have Drosera here. Why Drosera is here? You have to understand Drosera as a plant, the carnivorous plant, which can kill the insects. Even though it is a plant, it is unique. It is different, it is uncommon. Why Hitler was called as a Drosera patient by some authors? Because he made a suicide. A suicidal disposition is also a feature of Drosera. And Drosera is an absorbent. So this carnivorous plant absorbs the insects. Then there are no insects, totally gone. They have gone inside the tree. This is the reason why in tubercular lymphadenopathy and pathologies of the tissues of tubercular bacilli created by bacilli, Drosera has the capacity to absorb those tissues which are tubercular in nature. Kent has written, Drosera has cured hundreds of cases of tuberculosis because of its absorbent action. And what is the theme with UC? The theme is Drosera, I will kill you. And you have to listen. I have the capacity to absorb you. I have the capacity to make you slave. That is the theme with Drosera. So now we come to the last part, toxic shame. It is a pathological shame, induces complex trauma, especially in children. Incest and other forms of the child sexual abuse can cause particularly severe toxic shame. These are the children who need really homeopathy. In their upbringing, if you are unable to treat the children by resolving their emotional issues, they become toxic, pathological throughout their life. So, as a homeopath, you must understand them and give the message: you are not wrong, others are wrong. You have done no any mistake. And why you suffer? Okay, Thuja is listed here because Thuja is also after like carcinosinum, elements from sexual abuse, like Staphysagrina, like carcinosinum, like magnesiums also, calcareas also. Okay, shame and narcissism. Freud discussed pathology arising from a disorder of identification in childhood, resulting in faulty identification with others and an associated idealization of the self. This type is of narcissistic disorder. So you start loving your body so much that the pathological liking of your body gets developed. And then you take on this particular narcissism in terms of the shame. Here, a very interesting remedy is here, that is sacrum album. My body is very sweet, very delicate, very beautiful. And what is the concept now? In spite that I am sweet, you are bitter to me. The same language is there with Platina also. Very narcissistic. I love my body. I'm very beautiful. Accept that I'm beautiful. And if you don't accept, you are wrong. Then I can be more self-content with you, contemptuous. Why? Because there is a big sense of superiority. Exactly opposite lag group. But if her beauty is not being recognized, Platina also suffers from abandoned feeling. Very nicely given by Vishpala in the book on Platina. Read the book of Platina. Very nice book by Vishpala. Many new insights she has opened up in her book about Platina. Okay? So, shame and pride. Shame is a misery heap upon miseries. The analysis of shame runs parallel to the analysis of the pride. Because shame and pride are the two coins, two sides of the same coin. When a person starts feeling shame, his pride is automatically involved because they are opposite to each other, and pride can be a permanent blessing and shame can be an enduring curse. Very interesting rubric which I created. But such cases are few in clinical practice. But if you receive, you must be prepared. So today's lesson on Hanuman's Day is read psychology. Read enormous contribution by psychologists. I'm not talking about psychiatry, only psychology. A good big book, maybe of 3,000, 4,000 rupees. It is a must for a homeopath. Then try to integrate with homeopathy. New rubrics, new thinking, new correlation. I want this from the young generation because we want to make homeopathy holistic. Okay, so I stop here because this is a case and it will take a long time. So I take now stopping with this, and I will now go for your questions and answers. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Your questions, my answers. You have become very serious. No seriousness is required. Homeopathy is like this. What to do? Yeah. Yes. Any question from your side?
Some doctors have asked that which book you were reading it from. Is it given in any book?
I read a
Please.
lot. You can see this is a very small, you see, repertoire of books with me. I have at least more than 2 lakh rupees books, and I am a voracious reader because I have become very busy. And when you become an international teacher, you can make manipulation with everything, not with the time. So my reading is less today, and so I am very depressed because the reading makes you really mature, perfect, lot of ideas. And this author of this book is always with me, 24 hours, no demand, no demand of anything. Give me food and give me this and that. No, just an author with you 24 hours. So you have,
They are also asking about the name of the psychology book, I think that you referred.
there are many books of psychology, developmental psychology, pediatric psychology are two very important to understand. What I advise is those psychology books, very common, which are in the curriculum of BA and MA in the art. They are available in English, in Hindi, and in Marathi. So these books are very good. I studied psychology from these books first. Then I brought a big book of psychology, which is in my clinic. I read it often. There is a very good book which I read. This is a organizational psychology. This is a book which tries to understand the human being as an organization. Very interesting. And they have given the personality study and everything. And I have many books on psychology also. Many books on psychology by many authors. One of the best authors today for me is Edward de Bono. He has written many books on very interesting ideas, how you have to make yourself interesting before the people, how life has to be made more interesting. Edward de Bono. The books are very cheap. You can get them on the streets also, but very profound learning by this man. Very profound. He is one of the well-known psychologists of the world today. Read him carefully. It will give you enormous idea. Edward D. Bono. You can ask for his books even from the Amazon. They are not expensive at all, and they will give you profound, profound insight into homeopathy. Yeah. Any other question?
Shahala?
So I think we have to wind up now, sir. We are over time. The rest of the questions they can write in the readers column and we can answer them, sir. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, Shahal.
Can you hear me?
Psychology books, authors, there are some questions about authors. I will give you the list of the authors which I like, and it is possible to give you this list. I will send at Shobha all of this material. Yeah.
We will try to share in the Telegram group, sir.
Okay. Okay. Yes. Okay. So very good questions have also been asked, but due to the restraint of the time, I'm very sorry that I'm unable to give you some insights. But next time we will have more time, and if possible, we can have only question and answer session. What do you think about this? No subject, nothing. Only question and answer. You can begin from physiology, pathology, maternal organ, and anything. And I will be just giving you what I think. Yeah. Yeah, there is a defense mechanism uh, in Europe next week, but you can't do it because you will have to spend huge money for this. One webinar cost not less than 7,500 rupees. So for 3 4 hours is a very deep, very much for us. I think For the defense mechanism, we can have a special webinar from NGH. And you should tell Vishpala to organize one seminar. And I want this seminar for not less than 4 to 5 hours. I will surely give you defense mechanism with a lot of cases, with a lot of deep insights into our patients. It is very important. It is very deep. I'm working with Dr. Alexander about defense mechanism since at least 4 or 5 years. And we are relating with many rubrics, creating the many rubrics, trying to understand through many books. It is a very, very big job and a very satisfactory job to make homeopathy a big tool of defense mechanism, like PQRA. Yeah, yeah.
So I'm intervening again, sir. So we are finished with the time. Can we have it in some other sessions when we call you again later, sir?
Okay, yes.
Thank you very much for such an insightful learning. It was a beautiful voyage of understanding a case so holistically. And you made it so simple and special tips that you've given us that you can, what you call, conglomerate or bring down many repertories together and then arrive on remedy. Because generally when we start our new practices, we just have one repertoire sheet and then we try to analyze. So this was one very good learning and insightful learning today. And of course, other things, your Madhya Medica was excellent as usual, sir. We will hope to have you again very soon, sir, with another interesting, what you call, topic. And your suggestion of having a question answer session also is really great. I think all the EB members will discuss over it and have a really interesting session by you again. Thank you very much. And this is for all the delegates and the participants. We'll be having a panel discussion in our next session. It will be updated to you on Telegram later on. So please keep a tab on it. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you for a very good commentary, and we will meet again. Thank you, everyone, and all the best wishes for your professional career and the life. Take care.
Thank you so much, sir. Good night, everybody.
Sir, thank you very much. Thank you, Shahala.
Thank you, Dr. Shobha.